Good day everyone. In this video I will pick my first dimple lock and I will try to give you a few tips and tricks that I discovered or that I for this lock. This is a Yardeni cylinder, pretty cheap, and this is a new lock actually that I bought, so just to show you what comes inside. You have you have the cylinder here, which the form factor is very similar to multi-lock. However, still also an Israeli company. However, the lock itself is only a normal 6-pin, not pin-in-pin. So it comes with like two of these keys and reproduction card. Then some hardware with various tail pieces and a nice front ring for the lock. And to pick dimple lock, you need special picks that are called flag picks. And what I got was this set, which is called Honest Dongshi set. Pretty cheap on internet. And there's like plenty of picks. I'm working on this one, that's why there's no flag. And out of the box, they have very sharp edges. So what I did is, for the pick I'm going to use, I just use some very coarse sandpaper, like 100, 120, and I just broke the edges. So now they are actually not sharp. So let's try to pick this lock. And actually for the picking part, I will be trying to do it for Feral Shooter 100 subscriber giveaway. Congratulations on your 100 subscriber. And his challenge is basically to pick any lock, gut it, without any thumb. And so for that I have prepared 2 pieces of packing tape here, and so I'm going to just tape my thumbs and put them in this position, because you're going to see how I'm going to pick here, making sure that they're not going to go into play. And okay, so let's bring this closer. So for tension, you need medium to high tension. I mean, something that where you can basically move the pick under each of the pins. And so this is the first time. This is the first time I was picking a dimple lock, so I needed some help to figure out where the pin were, because it's a little bit difficult to feel the pin, and so you can see that I have marked the depth of each pin. And so for this lock here, there are 2 safety pins at the front, and then the rest, the 4 others, are the standard pins, which means that when I will be setting those safety pins, some of the pin will drop. So here I'm starting from the front, because I noticed that that's the binding order from back to front. And so here I'm putting some, medium tension, I guess, and I will start wedging my flag under the pin 6 and slowly moving my pick out until I'm centered under the pin here, like this. And now I can start rotating and try to set it. And you're going to hear the click. Here, I got the click. Now I will go under number 5. And 5 is actually already set, and we can look at the key later, but this is a very, very low cut, and so you can't really set this one. The number 4 is a very high cut, and there's wording in the wording in this key is not too, or this keyway are not too difficult, but this one, because it is a very high cut, you have to rotate the flag a lot until I think I got it actually. Okay, let's see. Number 3. Oh. So going under 3. I may have overset something here, because so number 2 is one of the safety pin, a spool actually, and number 1, let's see. So usually when I set number 1, there's a bunch of pins that will drop. So here, oh, I think you may have heard the click here. Okay, so number 1 was set. Number 2 is set. Number 3. Number 4. I think I may have overset something here. Let me very quickly go. 6, 5 is set. 4. 4 is set, and I got a little bit of rotation. Let's see if with 3 now. And we have an open. So when I was setting number 1, 3 and 4 dropped, so I had to reset them. So that's great. So if we, okay, now let's try to see if we can gut this thing. Before that, let me just look, let's look at the key here. And as you can see, okay, if you can focus here. So if you can see, the number 4 is, so this is pin 1, 2, 3. The 4 here is really, really high. And what that means is the pin is actually hiding in the piece of wording. You have 2 wording around the pin. So you really have to go grab that pin and like shove it up. So now let's try to gut this thing without thumb, which is really a terrible idea, but hey, that's a challenge. So here you can see the lock is open. Oh, did I actually just do that? I think I just, let me just check. Yes, that's exactly what I should not have done, because now the pins are in. Crap. Let me see if I can save the situation here. So if I try to shove the pin, oh, here we are. Okay. So we don't want, so yes, the lock is open. I will relock it just so that I can unscrew the tailpiece. The only thing that I changed in that lock was these 2 screws. These are M2 if I'm not mistaken, and the original that came with the lock are Phillips head with the worst thread lock that I've ever encountered. Like, it was really impossible to remove. And I did nearly strip 2 of the head. And I think I've seen some video by someone else where, because the thread lock was so strong, the screw just shear in half. So in my case they did not, but it was extremely difficult to remove, and the head were, you know, mangled, so not reusable. So I did, you know, find like 2 screws. Okay, so let me get this one. Let's leave it here. And a pinning mat. Okay. So the easiest way is probably to... Oh yes, I have to mention, you have this piece of this small cylinder here at the back and of the core, and it's retained by the tail piece. And this is a stop. So basically the key doesn't have any shoulder, so you need this piece to stop the key at the right depth. Otherwise the lock wheel is not going to align properly, and it's going to not allow rotation. So here I really have to find the right depth, and try. Here it is. Okay, so now rotation. Let me use this follower. Perfect. Here we are. So I will leave the lock here. Okay. Now let me try to grab. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, and then let's try to get another. Okay, so this is number 6, and number 4 is not going to come down, so I'm going to just use it. Okay, these are the pin, and then 4. Okay, can I order those in the right direction here? Oh, that's okay. Okay, so we have the 6 pin, and now for the driver pins. This is the first one with a spool. Second one with a spool. Third one is a standard driver. Fourth, standard. Fifth, standard. And number 6 is oops, here we are, is also a standard driver. And the springs are all the same, so let's see if we can get them out here. Okay, I think I got all of them here. Let's see. 1, is, oh, here is the last one. So these screws are not part of the lock, so let me just remove them from the mat here. Back piece. Yardeni. There is nothing specific to this cylinder or core. There's just two pieces of anti-drill material there. And that's about it. So let's zoom in on the location here, or maybe I can just hold that up. Let me try. Yeah, that's going to be easier. So you can see two spool at the front, and then all standard driver after that. Okay, and so now the challenge is that I have to reassemble the whole thing without fingers or without thumbs. So let me try. Let's see. So I will start from the back. Actually, let me start with number 4 here. Number 4. Okay. Driver. I think I got number 4. That was not too difficult. Number 5, driver. Okay. Nope, not yet. Okay, here we are. And number 6. So definitely, ferrule shooter, this is a real challenge. Pretty hilarious, I guess, for the viewer. But I did enjoy this first dimple lock. It's really something that I wanted to do for a very long time. You know, in Europe, where I come from, dimple locks are nearly everywhere. Like, most apartments have actually dimple locks. Here in the US, they are a little bit more rare. So number 3 as a driver. Come on. Okay, this one is not going to cooperate. Let's see if I can get it. Okay. Perfect. Number 2. Come on. The spool. Perfect. Number 1. Okay. Okay, here we are. Now onto the cylinder. That should be relatively straightforward from now on. Number one. Yeah. I say that and then I drop the pin, obviously. Number one. Number two. Come on. Number three. Number four. Number five. And number six. Okay, so let's just check that, yep, everything goes down. So now the tricky business, the tricky part, maybe I should actually use the vise for that. Okay, I'm going to try to do it this way. Okay. So let me think. This is probably going to be okay. If okay. Perfect. Okay, now let's see if everything works. Wrong side. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Up. I just need to drop that cylinder back. Okay. So this is locked, so I can just go ahead and which side is it going into? This way. Yeah, of course. And one. And two. Okay. Now let's see if we can get this. Oh yeah. Perfect. And then this one is a little bit too long. I will have to go to the local hardware store to get a shorter one. And so it's mostly there to prevent the tail from shifting. I can't. Okay. Now, moment of truth. Did I make it to the end without thumb? Yep, it works. And okay, so that was my first pick and gut and reassemble, no thumb, for Feral Shooter 100 subscriber, and of the Yardeni dimple lock. Thank you all for watching, and remember the rule. Only try this at home and leave any feral locks to professional. Thank you. Bye.